Sound as much as you be. Okay, there he is.
Mr. Gary Russell was cracking.
Man, what it do, man? As y'all can see, I'm getting out the woods for y'all, man.
Look like you in a doing a nature walk.
It be like that sometimes. What's up with y'all? How
Gotta
y'all
keep
What's up,
doing
man?
good. Gotta keep
First and
that mind
foremost,
right.
I got to give you your flowers, man. You was one of the first not like one of the first like black slick fighters with amazing hand speed. You still got amazing hand speed, but like with right before you fought Loma, like I was like, this dude is like on another level. You still on another level. What's your thoughts on like the politics of boxing, bro? Because you one of them ones, bro. Like, what's your thoughts on the politics of boxing? And do you think that's ever held you back in a certain way?
um of course. I feel like politics, even if you're talking about boxing or just in life in general, I feel like politics is nothing more than the ability to reward or take away from whoever you want to reward or take away from. So that's my thought process on politics. That's what I think about it. And the shit does get in
Mm.
the way of the genuineness of the purity of shit, the sport or just life in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you feel like with your family structure, I look at, like I said, I could be wrong, but I look at it like you guys have a strong tradition in your family, which is so amazing to me. We met your one of your older brothers today, and we didn't even know that he existed. Like we just know that it's quite a few brothers, right? And we met him and learned some stuff from him. But just listen to you, doing the talks that you do about your dad and about your brothers. It seems like you guys have a strong tradition. So if that's is that what keeps you grounded with the sport of boxing, having so many politics and things changing over the years?
Yeah, of course. No, we was always brought up. It was a lot of boys in the household. You know what I'm saying? We was all little
Hmm.
boys, be young men. You know, with that you got a lot of testosterone, you got a lot of all that shit that goes on with it. One of the things that Pops was very heavy on was honor, integrity, respect, and the concept of order. You know,
Mm.
so
Hmm.
regardless of how irritated or frustrated the situation might have been or anything like that, we always reverted back to that. It was always a concept of order. It was always a sense of honor, integrity, and respect. So that's what kept us rooted, man, for real, for real.
Absolutely. In the time that you didn't, when you wasn't fighting, it's like I would see you and your brothers Antoine in his corner, and you were doing more coaching. I watched you during that period, and then I watched you with this comeback fight. What what made you knew it was time? Like, how did you know it was time for you to actually get back in the ring? Because it seemed like you settled into training pretty good, and you're great at it. So, what made you, know that it was time for you to get back in the ring?
Um, I had to take the time off one to get physically healthy. My shoulder, I tore the tendon connected to the rotator cuff. Um, Not only did I do that, but my father just passed. My younger brother just passed.
Mm.
It was a lot going on in my,
Condolences.
and I had to everything fell on my lap after Pops passed. Of course
Yeah.
you did, oldest brother. You got to see him today, but
Hmm.
I was always the one that was holding everything down, making shit shake and everything else. So everything just fell in my lap, man. I had to take the time out to focus in, lock in on my younger brothers, make sure that they was where they needed to be. Get myself mentally and physically where I needed to be, and more healthy enough to actually go out here and do what I want to do. So I had to focus on everybody else for a second before I was able to actually put the time in for myself.
Absolutely. How did it feel getting back in the ring, though? Like, how did that feel?
Oh man, that felt good. That felt
Yeah.
good. This See, boxing to me is a lifestyle. A lot of these dudes, they only training, they only working out when they getting ready for a fight. I'm always in
Hmm.
shape. I stay. I'm blocked up under this shit, baby. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
stay in
stay
shape.
ready. I know you stay ready. Every time I see you, I be that's why I was so ready for you to get back in the ring. But seeing you training your brother, I was like, man, I want to see him fight.
Yeah, but like I say, it's a
Hmm.
life something that I'm always consistently doing. Um, I like my body to stay a certain type of way. I like to consistently feel a certain type of way. I like to do certain
Mm,
curricular activities for as long as I please.
Champ,
So
yeah.
in shape.
did you just want to get some rounds in? Because I felt like you could have stopped that dude anytime you wanted to. Were you just trying to get some
Hmm.
rounds?
Oh yeah, that was my first time competing in over what 3 years. I didn't get a chance for the fan. I wanted the fans to get an opportunity, not to get bamboozled. I didn't want to give everybody a Mike Tyson event. You know, y'all ain't see me fight in over 2, 3 years, and now the fight's over within 2 rounds. I feel like that's somewhere me tricking the people. I don't want to tease them. I want to actually give the people the show.
Nice.
Champ, man. So I just want to say, I thought you won that fight with one hand. The Mark Masiago fight, I did not like that decision. Why didn't you ever protest with the WBC? Being a champion for, I believe, 10 years or at least close to 10 defenses, why not have them look into the scoring and and
Um,
and, and see where the judges made a mistake? Because I'm sure you rewatched that fight and definitely thought you won it
I
even with one hand.
I ain't have to rewatch the fight. I clearly beat that boy ass, man. Ass whippings is universal. I don't care what your ethnicity is. I don't care what your ethnicity is. If you got your ass beat, you got your ass beat. It's simple as that. We don't cry over spilled milk. Ain't no real big deal over it. In my personal opinion, I only feel as though I have one real loss. That's to Vasily Lomachenko. And even then, he fought Mr. Gary Russell Jr. at his lowest form. He fought me when I was depleted and dehydrated of all my energy and all that shit. So, but Lomachenko is my only real loss. And if Mark Masayo heard this interview, I guarantee you his promoters and managers would be like, yeah, nah, we ain't fucking with Gary. We ain't
That has to be frustrating. You're 37 now. I've been following your career from the beginning. I always wanted the Tank fight. I would have took the Shakur fight. I would have took the Tevin fight. I'll take the Roach
fucking.
fight.
Hey, listen. Any of the guys that you mentioned, they had the opportunity to compete against me. They chose otherwise.
Leo
They
Santa
chose.
Cruz, Abner Mares. I mean, you got a list of people that didn't give you an opportunity. What would you say is the issue or was the issue? Because I felt like you were a favored Al Heyman fighter. Like he took care of you, but why couldn't he get you those fights? Specifically Leo. Like you wanted Leo and Abner forever.
You can, in my personal opinion, you can push the fight or put the fight in the person's place, but you can't make these guys take these fights. You know, um, he gave these guys the opportunity to compete against me. These niggas said, nah, I don't want to fight him. Give me somebody else. So you couldn't make these guys fight. A lot of guys when I was a champion, these dudes they made it their business to get the fuck out of the division that I was competing in because they
Mm.
knew I wanted to fight all the other champions. Anybody that you mentioned, Leo Santa Cruz, Shakur Stevenson, uh, Tank Davis, Abner Maris, all of them guys that you wanted to mention, they ain't want no parts of me. They ain't
I
want no.
was
Why?
asking Gary Jones, did he have any knowledge of whether or not Turkey Al Sheikh have reached out to you and your brothers? Because I feel like obviously he's making these tough fights happen, right? Like he's giving guys enough money to be willing to get in there, and I'm hoping that since you fought at 131, which is technically 35, maybe we could get the
Oh,
Shakur
and,
fight.
man, I came in a little light, man. my skill was slightly off. If it was up to me, I would have came in a little heavier, But it's cool though. Everything works out to his benefit. Like I said after the fight, anybody in the 135 division, if y'all feel as though y'all got what it takes to fuck with me, then bring that shit, man.
Do you feel if you call Shakur out today? Because in the past, you were saying youngin. When he was 26 and y'all both had belts, you was calling him a youngin. He was kind of saying in interviews he was looking up to you. That fight never happened. But now Roach is calling you old, saying he'd rather fight your brother. Do you think Shakur takes the, he's old news route, or you think Shakur's the type that will fight you?
I think Shakur here, little man. At the end of the day, I think he'll fight anybody. You know what I'm saying? If the money was right. Now, would he want to fight? I'm not sure. That's a big difference. It's a big difference. Shakur is one of the guys that I actually like in the sport. A lot of these dudes, they pick and choose who they want to fight. These guys, they not really that good. Um, Motherfuckers don't come to our gym to get no work. People that come to our gym, they get fucked up.
Mm.
Shakur, that came down here to actually challenge itself and test itself to see shit. You know what? I want to see really how good I am. Let me go and work with Gary. Let me go and work with Antoine. Let me see how this work goes.
Wow.
Now, so I always gotta give credit, to the situations like that. Now, how to work with, you know, that's a different story. But
We was having a conversation, right? Specifically with Brian Norman Jr., a senior. Uh, Team Devin Haney contacted me for the fight with Jose Ramirez to see if I could get Brian Norman Jr.'s information so they could get him in the sparring to help him with Jose Ramirez. I did that. Norman said, no, I'm no one sparring partner, and I think we going to fight. According to Norman Sr., he says, man, they told me we wasn't going to fight. They believe in the green print. We ain't going to fight. We going to help each other. But my son didn't want to do it. I told my son to do it. My son said no. Fast forward, they fighting each other. But every time, if you look at it, like Tank sparred Devin, Tank sparred Shakur, Tank sparred Tio, that fight ain't happened. You obviously just told us you sparred Shakur. That fight ain't
that
happened.
that's
These
because
guys, y'all spar each other, then y'all don't fight. Do you think sparring them makes it more difficult to make the fight?
I mean, I do, I do. In my personal opinion, um,
Hmm.
when you spar someone, that's them trying to test the water before they actually jump out there for real, for real. This shit
Wow.
don't it count, but it don't count. You know what I'm saying? This don't go on your record, but let me see where I stand. Let me see how this work goes. Oh, you know what? That wasn't too
Hmm.
bad. If we the fight, man, I might can get him. Versus motherfuckers come down here and be like, oh nah. All right, I see what they in the kitchen. I need to go. I need to go work. All right, say that. It's a big difference. But you don't see that shit in the sport of boxing. I used to like the karate movies because they showed a different level of grit. They showed a different level of hunger. They would learn their actual skill or whatever style it was that they was learning, and they'd go on the whole fucking pilgrimage. They want to test their shit. I want to see if my shit better than their his, and that motherfucker over there. I heard all them good. I want to see them. That's what real fighters do. I don't see that today in the sport.
Hmm.
Obviously, you kind of like the last of your era, right? Like you was with the Andres and the Wilders.
Yeah.
How do you feel this boxing has changed from when you turned professional till today, present day, if
Um.
any?
Nah, everything evolves and everything changes. We can't stay stagnant. I believe when people stay stagnant, you destined for failure. Do I like some of the changes? I don't know. My younger brother, he's about to fight on the Jake and Tank card. I'm not against neither one of them for getting their money. You know what I'm saying? As a man, I can't knock neither one of them for going and doing what you got to do to put money on your table. But then when you circle back to the actual sport of it, then it's somewhat kind of a smack in the face to certain people that participate in it. So it's a double-edged sword. But as men, shit, I can't count another man money. You gotta do what's best for you.
Do you give Tank a well? Not I know you don't, but like his fans are like, well, he ain't ducking Gary. He fighting Jake. That's 80 pounds heavier than him. Do you see
Nah,
it that way? Is that a real fight, even though it's exhibition because of the size difference? Is Tank in
nah.
any danger, in your opinion?
Well, whenever you step into the ring, you are in a sense of some sort of danger. You got somebody that's punching at you, But I don't really consider Jacob a real fighter as of yet. I think he's trying to create that image to be a fighter. I think he's on the verge of it, getting the respect from the actual fighters of the sport. But I don't give him a pass for it. I think it's honestly it's a smart move. If you got the ability to fight somebody, get your notoriety up, and then make more money than you would fighting someone else, then why the fuck not? It's a smart move. They can't knock him for that. But what I can say is, after that shit, don't come back to the sport acting like a sucker. Come back to the sport fighting the motherfucker real dogs. You gotta fight somebody for real. Don't fight these YouTubers, bro. That shit don't work.
I never understood that, and I know they're gonna think I'm a troublemaker. I'm just saying I'm from the inner city, right? I've been hearing you call Shakur Youngin, Tank, like you said, sucker, and worse forever. Why? I mean, you know why, and you might say it's because they know you, but I guess I need you to say it in your own words. Why do you
Just
think they don't respond to you? Like
me say,
Shakur would talk to he'll talk shit to Tio, he'll talk shit to Devin. Why people don't respond to you?
I mean, I personally don't feel as though I disrespect the Shakur. Um, I think Shakur honestly have a certain level of respect for me as a man outside of the sport of boxing. You know, um, and I always give him credit. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the ones that actually did come down this bitch and be like, shit, nah, let me see how good this work is.
Right.
You know, a lot of these guys don't do that shit. These motherfuckers scared to come down here and get bumped. So you got to give credit for that. Andre Ward, when Shakur was in my division at one point, Andre Ward stated Shakur I was one of the most seasoned guys at that time, and he felt as though that I was one of the people that they would probably stay away from. This is coming from Andre Ward, not from Shakur. So do I
Hmm.
feel as though he will actually fight? Yeah, I feel as though he'll fight. He a little man at the end of the day. I feel as though he'll fight. Um, then the outcome, that's a different story. As far as them not responding, I do believe Shakur responds, but his response would be different than a response from a Tank or a response from a Lamont Roach. Because I really feel like these niggas suckers. Tank,
Hmm.
you pick and choose who you fight. I've been saying I wanted to fight you. Ain't no grown ass man. I don't care what weight division you are. Going to say, oh nah, we in the same sport. I want to fight Gary. You a sucker. You a bitch. You this. I listen. I'm too much of a man. I got too much testosterone, too much pride, too much ego, too much all that. We got the clash. There's something got to shake. So it's stuff like that I personally wouldn't respect when it comes to a Tank or a Roach or something like that. Especially when we all fighters at the end of the day.
Why
We
do
all
why do why do you think Lamont Roach downplays like fighting you? And in my opinion, I think that's a huge fight down there in DC. He just got his
Agreed.
clout up with the draw against Tank Davis. He turned
mm,
into Lamont Sanat. He's a streamer now, 800 gifted. I think that's a big fight for y'all. Why do you think he downplays it with you?
cause I beat his old ass.
Mm, Lord,
Easy. E-
easy.
Easy. For not none of this back and forth. Oh, this shit was slightly competitive. Nah, I'ma cook his little ass. I have his father thinking about throwing a towel in that bitch. Lamont can't do shit with me, bro.
Did his performance
Fuck
impress
no.
you or shock you at all?
Nope, it didn't.
Really?
Um, I I don't feel as though that. Here's my thing. I believe people are comparing Roach to a false sense of security based upon who he was competing against. And even the people that knew that he was fighting Tank would say, well, I don't believe that Tank was at his best, or it was something going on mentally. It was something that was going on with him that he wasn't all the way there. And even with that, you still don't feel as though that Roach, neither of these guys showed separation in that fight. No one showed that
Right.
I'm much better than you. If you want my honest personal opinion, just as a connoisseur of the sport, if I was to look at that fight, I personally feel as though that Roach pulled it out. I felt
Mm.
like he ate it out by maybe a little, but I don't feel as though he did enough to take the title from the champion either. I'm a real fighter. He ain't beat motherfucking Tank ass, and Tank ain't beat his ass. The only thing was it was good competitive back and forth action. So because it was back and forth action, oh shit, he did better than what I thought. He ain't get knocked out. Them motherfuckers only threw 320 punches the entire fight. Both fighters. Who does that?
Mm.
Go and go and look at somebody else's an elite athlete around that weight range and look at their punch output in the fight. One fighter alone would throw over 320 fucking jabs. Them two combined throw 320 punches. Listen, I don't know.
So Gary, Mr. Gary, do you think that boxing fans put too much stock into Tank's talent, or do you think Lamont exceeded everybody's like he stepped his game up for Tank?
I think it was both simultaneously. I think a lot of people has a false sense of security of Tank or and the fact that Roach stood in there, it was a decent fight. You know what I'm saying? It was good back and forth action, and you do have some people that can argue that. I honestly feel like he probably pulled it out a little bit. You know, no one knew who
Hmm.
Roach was before he fought Tank, and you didn't really win. In my opinion, you got to really beat the champion. Terrence Crawford, he beat Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought him up because
Lamont
obviously, oops, sorry.
did not Javante Tank Davis. If anything, it was a good fight. If
Hmm.
that makes sense to you, that's
Yeah.
just how.
I'm glad you brought Crawford up because you guys are, around that same age. And I asked your brother Gary Antonio Jones what was his impression and did he watch the fight with you specifically because you had the back and forth with Crawford in the professional ranks and you also had the altercation outside of the ring. So once upon a time you was willing to move up to fight him. And I wanted to see, did he inspire you to still be willing to move up two divisions? Because you also had the back and forth with Devin when he was at 35. He's now fighting at 47 versus Norman Jr., who your brothers know, right? I think Antoine Russell knows him well. Um,
Mm.
yeah, is there a world where you're still willing to fight Devin, and would you move up if he won at 47? Seeing Crawford do what he did, do you think that's in your story to move up two divisions and fight someone outside of your normal weight class? I know you only weigh 131, so it might be far-fetched. Still gotta ask.
Um, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter at the end of the day. I feel like I already kind of answered that question. I don't give a fuck if Tyson Fury says something out of pocket. You guys see me. We gotta.
Exactly.
That's just the essence of me. So I guess that should answer your question. I think it was pretty cool that he was able to move up multiple weight divisions. And actually win. You know what I'm saying? Get the job done. He was able to do for himself, do for his family, and etc. That's sweet as shit. You know what I'm saying? We put the work in. Put a lot of work in. I think it's sweet when you see fighters get or reap the benefit of all the effort that they was able to put in. So that's sweet. But hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm open. I'm open.
Do you think you're gonna stay at 35? Again, you weighed in at 31. Do you see yourself potentially fighting Fulton, Oshaki winner, or is the Shakur Tank 135 division a sexier division for you?
I mean, to be honest with you, 35 is where I prefer to campaign at. I feel comfortable. I feel strong as shit at 35. Um, yeah, that's where I prefer to honestly to campaign at. Now, if something was to materialize, it ain't really nothing down there that I would want. The only other person that I really wanted to fight right now, only people who I want Lamont Roach. It's a little personal. I've been wanting Tank. I mean, Tank, it wasn't really personal with Tank. He can take it personal with me because I called him a sucker and sucker ass bitches and shit. So he can take it personal, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? How much mad it could we get if we fight? We already fighting anyway, right? But I just feel like the sport is too small for both of us to coexist and not at least collide at some point. Um, but outside of them two, I would like to fight Inoue. Inoue another one,
Okay.
but he's just a little smaller. But anyway, he a nice one. He another one that I would like to fight. Especially
Delos Santos is going to be getting a tune-up in Dominican Republic. He's recently got a new manager and is no longer with Samson Lewikovic. He's obviously
but
got that fight with Shakur. Is that someone you'd entertain?
who is Samson? That's his old coach.
That's no, Samson Lewikovic is his old promoter, and that was the
Oh,
reason he
oh,
used to be with PBC. Now he's with Adrian Clark and Fighters First Management, same management as Brian Norman Jr.
okay. Well, I ain't gonna lie. That I wouldn't mind it. It's I wouldn't mind it, but I don't think they would want to fight me. I mean, I spoke to his coach. To be honest with you, they was like, "Yeah, we ain't trying to fight you. You're a fucking nuisance." He called me a nuisance. That's what his coach said anyway.
So you never
He's
answered that question. Has Turkey reached out? Because it seems like, especially conducting this interview, you need Turkey. You need his money to make these guys say yes. Because it's like, okay, they offer me X, Y, Z. I ain't gonna. I don't care to lose, but I'll take the risk to lose. But it seemed like they're gonna need a significant amount of money to say yes to you, and that's kind of been the same story of your career. And we at the tail end, so I want to change that. Have you reached out to Turkey? Has he
Yeah.
reached out to you? Has there been contact? How can we get the financial backing to get you some of these fights before it's too late?
I mean, he's reached out. We had some.
Beautiful.
We didn't get a chance to actually really sit and rap the way we want to. But yeah, we have the ability to actually contact with him. And to be honest with you, the sport is definitely changing. It's getting to a point where as though motherfuckers gonna have to fight. You ain't gonna be able to pick and choose and just fight a guy just because his record look good and it look good on paper. Now the fans have the ability to make a difference. Y'all, the fans are getting tired of being food poisoned and bamboozled. They keep saying shit. Why the fuck he ain't fighting him? Why this
Mm.
person ain't fighting that person? Why this person ain't? And it's actually putting pressure not only on the promoters but on the fighters as well.
Mm. So when it
Network.
comes to, go
Nah, go
ahead.
ahead, baby.
When it comes to you and your brother, like, I feel like that you were coaching and then you fought, and now he's fighting. In the next year, how do you prioritize whether he fights and you're there as a coach, or do you guys both fight in the same, like in the same time span? How do you prioritize that for yourself?
We do this shit simultaneously. When he in camp, I'm training too.
Okay.
We
So
train
if you
simultaneously.
Okay, so if you guys had a fight during the same time span, that wouldn't matter. You just train him, do you have a trainer yourself, or how does that work?
My younger brothers, our unit is our training staff. That's what it is.
Okay.
And I help train
Okay.
my
So that
head trainer of my younger brothers, and they all collectively, you know, chime in and work with me when I'm getting ready for my fight.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, being as though your family is so deeply rooted in boxing with this long lasting pedigree, have your nephews asked for advice or have you openly given it? Because we had Mr. Jones on and he was explaining how only one has 75 amateur fights, the other two have none and are going to turn pro. Um, Again, you being the oldest, well, he's the oldest, but you being one of the oldest still active, what's your advice? Like, is that the right route? Do you think because they got the name, they don't need the amateur background? Because normally people want national wins and stuff to get signed to the big managers and promoters, but you guys got the pedigree. It's like the Smith brothers, the Charlo brothers, the Russell brothers. They know y'all. So, do you feel like your nephews don't really need the amateur fights?
Um, in my personal opinion, they get a lot of the experience from the sparring and stuff that they get. You know, when they get good sparring, good upskill sparring, that'll help with the experience. The way that we was brought up in the amateurs, my father wanted us to at least compete in a national tournament or etc. before we even thought about going professional. You know, so that's like a little somewhat of a cheat code that people do now to get to where they need to go quicker.
Mm.
Out of those three nephews, who do you see, you know, the one that's gonna have the fan friendly style or the one that the fans would be more drawn to?
I can't answer a divisionary question like that. All my nephews, they, you know what I'm saying? They all come from the same stock. So whichever one put their mind to it the most, I guess.
And I had asked your brother, does he feel like it's pressure? Because I'm like, bro, there's like
That,
10 Russells, y'all all
that
fight. Does anybody wake up or go to the gym like, damn,
Crazy.
do I gotta do, like, because it's so much competition,
Right.
right? Like, you gotta have that competitive bug to want to be better than Mr. Gary Russell, want to be better than Mr. Gary Antoine Jones. So if you feel you not, like, how do you keep doing it?
I ain't gonna lie. That's just a part of our nature. It's a part of our DNA. Iron sharpens iron. That's where that terminology comes from. You know,
Mm.
iron sharpens iron. I can be in the gym just chilling, doing my regular workout, but Antoine can be getting ready for his fight. If he's looking like starting to look real good or looking crisp in the gym, I get
Yeah,
excited. Hey, I need to. Hey, look, I need to get me a couple rounds in. I need a couple
that's
rounds of that
right.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Let
Wait,
me
so
get a
y'all
couple.
spar each other?
Man, listen, man, this shit get unchy over here, man. I'm still big. I'm still big
I
brother.
love it. Yes, I love it. So what
So
happened? So I think what I'm thinking, I don't know if that's this what you thinking, Ness. So what if at the time you have a brother that's not in that mind space and they come around, are they made to feel like, dude, you need to be training, or are you guys compassionate and like we just want you to be around it?
They're just around. I have the baby boy Isaiah. He don't box, but because he's
Hmm.
been around it for so long, you know, even his eyes are an asset when we're in the gym. You know, if we're working on certain shit, if we're in the gym working out, hitting the bag or hitting the mitts or etc., he been around it so long that he would be able to pick up on it and be like, "Hey, bro, you ain't throw that right, bro," or "Hey, bro,
Mm.
I can tell you resting. You need to push a little more right now. You bullshit." So just that right there alone helps the whole machine continue to move. You know, so even if they
Okay,
don't, they still play a part of it in some way, shape, or form.
got it.
so
Nice.
Verbal, mine's around me. That's it. That's it. That's good. I pull
Mm.
my from mine.
So I always wanted to ask. I mean, I don't know that we have time or that it's an appropriate question or enough time to answer. But like, what was the upbringing like? Because you guys are also the only family that doesn't fall victim to materialistic things. You guys not out here flashing. You're not wearing jewelry. You're not
Hey,
showing off. And it started with you. Like you
I wear,
used to wear a wood
I,
medallion.
nah, I wear jewelry. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't on the shit that they on. You know, if I wear jewelry, I throw shit on like this. That's what I throw on. That's my jewelry. You know, I throw
Mm,
shit on. That's about it.
stones.
Okay.
Real stones, man. Blue tiger's eyes.
Hmm.
I'm saying shit that can really connect with my energy, man. I'd be cool. I'm a naturally
Yeah,
aggressive, so I need shit to keep me. You know what I'm saying? My little woosah, keep my energy smooth.
nice.
But our upbringing, to be honest with you, we came up. We came up in the city, man. We was products of the murder capital. You know, in
Mm.
order to be able to just have a regular life, you had to be super duper aggressive and etc. We was products of that era.
So
We
who
stayed.
carries who
Huh?
carries more of your father's energy as far as keeping you centered? Like you say, you guys came up in the murder capital. So when I listened to you talk in the past, you talked about going hunting with your dad and different things like that, that I'm sure kept you guys grounded,
Mhm.
vibrationally, if you will. So who carries that torch right now for your family?
Me,
I figured
uh,
that.
me, my little brother
Hmm.
that hold the mitts. The one that hold the mitts for me, that's my general. He the next in charge. He the next one that be keeping everything in order. You know what I'm saying? If
Okay.
if I ain't if I'm missing something, he gonna catch it.
Yeah.
No, or I can depend on
Nice.
him.
Which
Yeah.
brother is that? If you can you be specific?
Allen, that's the one that actually hold the mitts for me.
Oh, Allen the third.
Yep, the
Hmm.
third.
Man, he looks so much like I thought when Gary Jones jumped on. I said, okay, Allen
Right?
grew hair and
They
facial
look
hair, and
alike.
that's why
Yeah.
I thought it was him. But then Nuke texted me like, nah, you mixing them all up. That's Gary Allen the third.
That's the one that.
How many is it?
Hey,
And I
look,
need to understand, like, I know your father's name is Gary, but even your brother kept it going. Now his three sons named Gary too?
I've been going too. I got 6 kids. I had six. I got 4 girls, 2 boys. Both of my sons, they married too, but
Wow.
everybody go by their middle name. So my oldest son, he goes by Haru. You know what I'm saying? The original story of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph was Haru Asad and Set. Haru was the son of a king, so I made my first son Haru. Well, his middle name anyway. And my other son, his name is Ali, because he was a twin, a boy girl twin. So I named them Layla and Ali. But they're
Oh
both.
wow. But they
eh,
but his
Whoa.
but is Ali the middle name?
Ali's the middle name. So listen,
So what about the daughters? What's their first name?
they good. They got
Okay.
the see. You can't keep your name moving on with a girl.
Yeah, for sure. It's only the man.
Get your shit on with a girl. All I can do is love my babies dearly, but you can't pass your name on with a young lady. In most cases, they gonna take someone else's name.
No,
Yep.
I got two daughters. Well, actually three daughters myself. Wow, you
Right?
got four. So
I
wait,
hear
so
you
wait.
want to hear?
Your first was a boy though.
Nah, my first was a girl. I'm
Oh
about to tell you
Damn.
wow.
a story, right? So pops, he got 6. He got 14 kids. He was dropping that motherfucker off.
Oh my God.
Pops at 14, he was
14.
dropping off. You hear me? So I had I had 3 daughters before I had my first son. And I went to my father and I told him. Now my father, he had all boys and like 3 girls. So when I went to,
Mm.
I'm like, hey pops, guess what, man? He was like, what's up? I said, Slim, we got the sonogram back. It's a little boy. He was like, oh shit. He said, you know what that mean, right? I said, what? He said, you finally got all that bitch out your system. I just bust out laughing.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Lord
Wow,
child.
Whoa.
wow, wow.
And then you had 3 boys.
No, I got 2 boys. Well, now
Okay.
technically I got 3 because I have my children, and then I got custody. My little brother that passed right before my dad, I got custody of his 3. So
Okay.
2 daughters and a son. So I
Wow.
got my
Whoa.
nephew. So it's 8 children running around my house all the time, like Chuck E. Cheese.
What a blessing. Oh my
Hell,
God.
that is.
Wow.
That is.
You know what
So
I'm
That's
saying?
so did your
legacy right
boys
there.
take up boxing too?
Huh?
Have your boys taken up boxing too?
Hell yeah, my little sons, they vicious. I got my
Wow.
6 year old, he about to be 7 October 30th, and I got an 8 year old, Juneteenth. But both of them box.
What weight classes?
They like 55 pounds. They
Wow.
50.
Mm.
They, they be geeking to go to the gym.
Now I
They
gotta
be,
ask this, cause we get most professionals, they're like, no, I don't want him to box. That's why I did it. I know how hard it is. But it
Yeah.
seems like all of y'all push you, not push, but it just seems like they gravitate to the gym. Why don't you say the bad stories? Why, like why are you not pushing them in a different direction? Did your career not jade you?
um, to be honest with you, I love children, so I allow my children. If my son wanted to fucking ride horses, then baby boy, I got you. You can go and ride some motherfucking horses. We can whatever it is my children want to do, I'm willing to support them. But they're just naturally gravitated to it. They even my daughters, they're aggressive. I got a 12-year old daughter named Harmony. It is nothing harmonious about her. She a little She's a savage. If somebody's crying in the house, if some Harmony got something to do with it, but they just
Whoa.
aggressive. It's Pops just was able to target it, and boxing was just the perfect outlet for me. I
Mm.
believe that it would be for my children, but I do believe that it's a good foundation because at the end of the day, even my children don't box. I definitely want all my children to be able to know how to defend themselves properly. It's a mean, cruel world out here. People mean as fuck for no reason, and the children is getting worse. Now you got these babies that's having babies, and they ain't even raising these babies, and babies tripping. Not with
Mm.
mine.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
um, a parent who failed their child, or a parent who's failed to prepare their children for life without them, is a parent who's failed their children. I refuse to fail mine. So I'm gonna try my best to at least instill all of the stuff that I feel as though I can within the time frame that I do have with my children, so that they can be prepared for life. Cause this shit
Mm.
vicious.
Any female boxers in the family?
Nah, no female boxers. Um,
Okay.
so well, Clarissa Shields is the cousin, like a distant, but
Really?
that
Okay.
yeah,
Oh wow. Oh
yeah,
wow.
that's
So
some,
so none of y'all daughters got inspired,
they fight. I tell you that
or
much.
you taught them how to fight, but they don't fight.
Yeah, they don't box.
Oh.
My
Okay.
And is it because that's daddy's little girl, the princess? Because I feel like the way boxing has evolved, it seems easier to navigate a woman through this sport and get them to the top than it is for a man. What would you
I,
say?
I mean, I believe so. I think it's getting sweeter for the females in the sport because at one point they was putting in. I'm not gonna say just as much work, but they was damn sure putting in the work that the men was putting in, and they wasn't getting paid nowhere near as much as the men was getting paid. So people like
True.
Ali, you can put Clarissa in there now, and etc. They making a change for the females. So yeah, but my children, nah, they just naturally aggressive. They got my DNA. They got my DNA.
Mm.
Their mom is real calm and chill. I mean, I'm laid back too. I'm real laid back. I'm chill. I'm calm. But their mother, she's not confrontational. Let something happen. My children, they want all the smoke. I
Mm.
can't I can't play with my children and be like, man, these little kids was messing with me. Y'all gonna help me fight? Every last one of them,
Baby lady.
they bringing the keys like, yeah, dad.
do
They be ready. Let's
do
go.
y'all all live around each other, or do y'all have to drive pretty far to to get to each of the uncles' houses?
Um, nah, we pretty proximity based, but we are all around each other on a consistent basis. We're in the gym Monday through Friday. Our
Nah,
gym
y'all
is a
look super tight.
you know,
Yeah, for real.
our gym is private, but so it's not open to the public. So whenever we are at the gym, it's me, my babies, my nieces and nephews. When my brother come, it's my other nieces and nephews. When my other brother come, you got all my other nephews. I'm like, wow, what's up?
A
So
family affair.
you
Love
go.
it.
So you
To
guys
be
are
able,
having an amateur show on the 24th. Is that something that just started? Is this an annual thing? And you know, being in this sport, all your relatives and siblings training, why aren't you turned off? Like you're doing professional, you're training, and now you're doing amateur shows. Like, what did boxing show you, or what are you just grateful because it changed your life and that's why you remain in it? But like, why are you so deeply rooted in it? What was it about boxing that made you love it so much to the point that you're passing it down and you're teaching it to strangers?
um, first of all, how you even know about that amateur show?
I follow y'all, man. I seen it yesterday. I even reposted it.
uh, they posted that shit.
Mhm.
Well, first off, I wanted to do something for the little, we call them the ankle biters. I want to do something for
Mhm.
the ages of like 6 and 7 years old. You can't actually start competing until you turn 8. But you have children that's 6 and 7 years old that's trying to prepare or get ready for when they actually turn 8 years old. It's hard to find sparring. There's not a lot of children around their size or their age they can move around with, work with to get the experience by the time they do turn 8. So I'm like, you know what? I might have just try to put an event together just for the little ones so they can get the experience that they need to see if they really want to continue to do it, without actually having to have officials and stuff like that there. I just wanted to do like a little meet and greet and put like a little show together just for the youngest. Um, but as far as why am I still connected into it, it's a part of me. Boxing is something that I honestly feel as though helped save me. Like
Mm.
I'm naturally really I'm chilled, I'm laid back. But I was, like I say, we was brought up in that era that I was naturally just aggressive. I was the type of child that just stayed away from stuff because if I knew I went around, I was gonna get into some shit. So
Mm.
it gave me purpose. It gave me a certain level of drive, and it gave me a purpose. I wanted to be able to continue to play it forward. And help these babies, get them something to do, keep them away from the bullshit, keep them away from the drama and everything else that comes with this jungle. It really takes a village to raise these children. You know what I'm saying? And I'm my father's child. He was a real Pops was a real man, Slam. He was a soldier. He raised children, little boys into men. He taught you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He was a teacher. All the badass kids that was always getting in trouble that ain't nobody want to deal with. Please believe they was over there with Pops. They was over there with us. All the wild
Mm.
youngins that was going, oh, they over there with us. My father was the one that's telling them, nah, Shorty, that ain't how you supposed to do that. Why the fuck you beefing with Shorty from your own neighborhood? How you gonna be fighting with him from across the street? Y'all supposed to be together. Now if somebody else from another neighborhood come, then y'all click up. Y'all can be together. It's not that separation shit. Pops, he was a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Just in life in general. He raised men. So I just wanted to
So
play
when
it
it comes
forward.
to children, like kids, as far as being amateurs or being boxers, what's a good age that you think you can gauge to say, okay, they're ready to start, or they're young enough they're not too young to think they want to box. When do you know it's serious, or they actually want to do it for themselves versus a parent trying to push their kid into it?
Well, as early as you introduce them to it. As early as you introduce them to it, you have children that's maybe people get into the sport for different things.
Mhm.
You have children like myself that my father seen. This little boy is just aggressive. He like contact. He like hitting, punching, tackling. All right, I'm gonna put you in some contact sports. You need it. You know what I'm saying? Help you let out
Mhm.
your. Then you have other children that's just super duper timid. You can tell they're gonna get pushed over in school. They probably already have been getting beat up and stuff. You know, and you want to give these children a level of self confidence to actually know how to protect themselves in a
Yeah.
situation. Then you have people that they probably did just. You have parents that will put their children in it because they can see my child ain't. I need him or her to be able to deal with what life is bringing them. So it's
Mhm.
multiple people get into the sport. But ultimately it helps. It helps
Yeah.
build confidence. It helps build a certain level of just self discipline. And etc. So I just want to be able to continue to play.
Absolutely.
Like I say, the younger you are, and that's with anything. The earlier you start somebody off is something, the better they should be when they get older. But shit, as early as maybe 5, 6 years old, you can bring a little child in and let them start working out, moving around. At that stage, it's not you're not doing this serious. You just want to bring them every once in a while. Let them see people hitting the bag. Let him throw the gloves on and just try to hit it himself. After a while, the more consistent they become, then you start teaching them drills and etc. Once they start, here's the trick. Then you don't say shit to them.
Mhm.
In most cases, they really want it. They gonna come to you. Hey, mom. Hey, dad.
Yeah.
Go to the gym. We gonna go to the gym today. Set. Now,
Mhm.
all right, come on, child. And even if they don't give you that, you might have that child that you might need to push his ass. Nah. You gonna bring your little ass to the gym today. You gonna learn. I need you to be forced through this fight because you're a little boy now, but I need you to become a young man. So,
Mhm. Nice.
I got a father trainer that sent the question. His name is Coach JT. He says, ask him, is he doing a pro route like his brother with his kids, or are you going to let them do amateurs?
oh no, I'm gonna let my babies do amateurs. My children is 6 and 8 years old. They 6 and 8. I'm definitely gonna let them do amateurs, and I'm gonna let them get the most experience out of it as they can. You know, um,
How many fights did you have in amateurs total? Just so we have a gauge of what you mean by most experience.
sh- like 250, something like that.
Wow.
200.
You had 250 amateur fights?
Hell yeah, easy,
Damn.
easy,
I know Broner had that many, but they say his weren't all open, right? And they only, I
e-
mean, Keith had 120 something. Thurman.
easy. To be honest, I don't even know how they say Broner had that many fights. That motherfucker wasn't fighting like that in the amateurs. He went and competed a little bit, and then he disappeared. He just went pro. He wasn't really fighting like that in the amateurs, especially once we got 16, 17, 8. He was fighting in the amateurs when we was like juniors, not even the open class fighter. Juniors is from like the ages of 8 years old to 16. Once you turn open class, now it doesn't matter how old the person. You can be up to 34 years old, as long as y'all in the same weight division, you can compete. So the ones that was always around, Keith Thurman's, Danny Garcia,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, Sean Porter, um, and some of the people a lot of guys that's supposed to really been that guy, they just fell off. They didn't do it. Carl Dawkins, he was one of them. He was actually nice. He was actually nice,
Yeah,
but
man. And he came, I mean, he had not seen Richardson when he was still here, rest in peace. What do you think went wrong with that? Because he got some opportunities. Did he miss some years for like some activities or something? Because when I got to see him fight, he was with Nassim, so he had the best of the best.
Yeah, I mean, life choices, man. Some people can't focus in or lock in as better than others or as well as others.
Hmm.
Decisions and choices that you make. You know, I try to stay in the house. I stay in the house and I stay in the gym. I'm in the house, in the gym, or I'm in the woods or something. I try to stay out of shit, man.
I wanted to ask,
Yeah.
and I may be wrong with this, but um, who taught you financial literacy? And was that something that was instilled into you, and the importance of it taught? Because you only had 8 fights in the last 10 years, but you not out here hurting like so, we see fighters, they don't, some stay up there, but some lose all their money. So it's like, who taught you, and what exactly did they teach you? And are you
Um,
passing that on?
of course, my personal definition of a dynasty is information being passed down from generation to generation. In most cases, it should get stronger. Nah, you say you don't really see much about jewelry and etc. We Some people grind to be seen and other people grind to disappear. I know what category I fall.
Mm.
I don't get validation from others. I haven't really given two fucks what other people think. I'm on my own little grind. I'm standing on my own ten. I don't really focus on getting validation from others. That was something that was real heavy pushed within our household. So you don't see too much about me. People don't know how much money I make or what I got going on, or if I'm in. People just found out that I divorced my wife 3 years ago. They found this out within the last couple months. That was breaking news.
Yeah, I
I
think you did an interview saying that, right?
divorced my ex-wife like 3.5 years ago. Ain't nobody know nothing about that. I ain't one of the. Some people grind to be seen, and other people grind to disappear. I know what category I fall into. Um, I never did anything for the gratification of others. Anything I did was for the fulfillment for me and my unit. You know what I'm saying? That's what played a big part in that. And Pops, he was the main objective. He was the main one that put all that shit together.
Do you think in today's era your sons need 250 amateur fights in order to turn, if the goal is to turn professional? I mean, obviously at this age you don't know if they want to be pro, but you know,
It
in the back
depends
of your
on what the goal is. If the goal is just turning professional, then no, they don't need 250 amateur fights. If the goal, I mean, like I say, everything is consistently changing. To be honest with you, you don't even need 250 fights. All you need to do is get on the social media and have a have some good content and etc. and let people know you and get your viewership up. And they don't give a fuck if you can fight or not. You can just still go and fight. So the sport is it's changed. This shit turned to some WWE shit, if you ask me. But
So
but
with the,
no
with the
but knowing
finance
that but knowing that your entire family is still raising children in the gym to
to
potentially
be
be
boxing.
in this sport.
I'm raising my children to know how to properly be able to defend themselves, and if they want to be in the sport, then I'll navigate them through it.
And you'll allow it. Yeah. With
Allow
the
it.
financial literacy part piece of it, Mr. Gary Russell, like what you learned, how would you convey that if there was a platform for you to convey that to the younger fighters coming up? Because I feel like that there is a route that some fighters take that seem like they don't have the luxury of the big fights, meaning the fights where they may be making seven figures, right? So if they're just a boxer and this is their career, how would you advise them on being able to make smaller purses, but still being able to be good businessmen on the side of boxing?
That's a good question. It depends on your level of creativity. It depends on what a person is actually into. In most cases, when you have success in a lot of things, if you take luck out of the equation, it's something that you're actually interested in. You're gonna do something that you're actually interested in. So one, it gotta boil down to what their interest is outside of the sport. What are you how
Mhm.
what that you like to do? If it's something that you like to do, then you can put a lot of interest into that to be able to get out of it. You gotta like whatever it is that you're doing. I don't know what everyone else's thought process is or what it is they want to do outside of the sport of boxing. But you have to be able to do them both simultaneously. You have to do them both simultaneously. You can't just put all your eggs in one basket. Don't all think that it's going to be come from boxing. You know, um,
Mhm.
you definitely you want to try to have at least, I don't want to say too much, but you want to try to have multiple incomes. Definitely at
Yeah,
least incomes. Don't put all your sources in all your eggs in one basket. That's what they used to say. That's
absolutely.
you know, and everything don't have to be big. You don't need to make a shitload of money to try to make some money. It's the small, consistent steps. The small, consistent steps that's going to get you to where you want to go in the long run. A lot of people don't know how to.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know how to save. They just assume they get money, they got to spend it. you know, a lot of people they spend money not for themselves but for others, looking for gratification from others. You probably do make a decent little amount of money, but you want to go and spend this money because you want to look good, not just for yourself, but you want to look good for them. You want
Mhm.
you can flex on the gram and see how many views you get off this shit. You want to go take this trip to go that life
Mhm.
process is hindering.
So you strike me as a guy that have you gone to Africa?
I
Like
want to go. Ain't,
you
ain't
strike
going.
me as a guy that's trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, go back to the motherland or
The
be in touch with the
motherland.
roots and stuff. Have you done any of those trips?
To be honest with you, here I ain't even want to get too deep, but shit, this is the motherland. The problem is they done tricked a lot of us melanated people into thinking that, oh, y'all need to go back to Africa. The reason why they can't send niggas nowhere because niggas already populated this bitch before they even got here. So Africa is one of the things, but the real Egypt and all that shit is right here in America. Motherfuckers
Mm.
ain't ready for that part though.
Wow.
But
So what I want to ask the Kundalini, right? When that is the name of the thing that you put on your brother's face when he's fighting. Is that the correct name?
no.
What's the name of that?
Um, well, it's just a face mask. So that was something that we got patent.
Mhm.
That was our at the conclusion of I'm guessing maybe my career or maybe the conclusion of my younger brother's careers or etc. That was something that we wanted to bless the sport with. You know what I'm saying? That we wanted to be one of our tokens of what we did for the sport. It's a face mask. Everybody has when you fight, they have end swells. They have end
Mhm.
swells. Fight. If somebody eye gets swelled up, they're gonna take this metal piece and rub it on your
Yeah.
face. Well, we didn't want to do that, So what we did was you got a custom mold of your face at its natural form. Of course, your mouth is free, so you can still give water. We can give it's a cold compress that you can put on your face. If it
Mhm.
is deformalities or anything like that, it's going to go directly to it. It's a mold of your actual face, so it's going to catch anything that doesn't supposed to be there, and you can still drink, and still be able to hear the instructions that's given to you in the process of it. You know, even people that don't participate in the sport, that just want to feel like they're a part of the sport and they just want a token or memorabilia, etc. In due time, they will be able to purchase something like that as well.
Okay. Okay. So it's not a spiritual meaning for it. It's
But
just a
yeah, it's
too
it's
much. Too much.
two in one. It's two in one because if you look
Okay. Okay.
at symbols on each of them, on mine,
Hmm.
you have Raw. On Antoine's
Sorry
has
about that.
I forgot what he has on his, and on Antonio he has another one, but they're all different hieroglyphics off the pyramid wall stuff.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Because when you look at it, like I know you don't want to get too deep. When you look at it, or maybe vibrationally, I felt like it was something. Sorry about that. Maybe vibrationally, I felt like there was a spiritual meaning within that. So
If you
yeah.
know something, shorty, I hear you know something, baby girl.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, I like the fact that it seems like it is personal to you and your family, but I hear you as far as saying people are going to be able to get it. So I kind of feel like,
It is,
there's a business behind it as well.
yeah, it's personal to me and our family. You know, this was something that we wanted to recreate it. That we actually want to be able to bless the sport with. You know what I'm saying? As a
Absolutely.
token of our appreciation of just being a part of this shit. So in due time, man,
Absolutely.
he's trying.
Absolutely. So Ness, you missed that part. So the face mask is also, that's gonna be something that we all can purchase one day. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
No, I heard the purchase part. What I missed
hmm
was after he said his has the IRA, you were saying your brother's has what?
I forgot what I can't think of their symbols right offhand, but we all have
hmm
different on ours. That
hmm
personalized to us anyway. But in due time, like I say, everyone that would like to feel as though that they're a part of what's going on, they can be able to get their own custom face mode, et cetera, and all that shit too. So in due time.
hmm
It's patent right now, so can't nobody touch my shit just in case y'all somebody trying to fuck with our shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, those are all my questions, Star. If you have anything else.
No, definitely. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate the
Yeah, we
energy.
appreciate you. Actually, we do have Coach JT ask one more. He said, uh, d- "Did your dad want you to turn pro, or was that something that you decided on your own?"
Nah, Pops and Al Heyman, they did that for me because I was one of the favorites going into the Olympic Games in '08. I beat the previous silver medalist. I beat the previous silver medalist going to in the World Games. So I was one of the favorites to medal for the U.S. So when I didn't get a chance to compete because I got sick, man, I was about to quit boxing. I didn't want to do this shit no more. I had so much
Mm,
I had so much love, support, from people that genuinely didn't know me at all, but just followed my story the entire way through, just to be able to get to the Olympics and not be able to compete. That I ain't want to. I felt like all the love and support was in vain. I no longer wanted to box anymore. My father and Al Heyman got together, and Al was like, "Man, listen, I'm gonna give you. We want you to go pro. I know what happened in the Olympics, but damn that shit, we want you to go pro." At that
mm.
point, I never wanted to be a world champion. I came up in that era where though I wanted to be an Olympian. I came up in that Olympian era. So it wasn't until after I couldn't compete in the Olympics that I said, shit, the only way I can make it up to everybody for the support is to become a world champion at this point.
I
So
do have
Absolutely.
one more, cause in the Mark Marcigo fight, you suffered the shoulder injury. You said today it was torn tendons. Did you do regular shoulder surgery? Did you just let it heal naturally, or did you do stem cell therapy? We losing you. I don't know if it's the
Not bad.
battery.
Service.
You there? Uh-oh. Gary.
His service.